Buddy, hopefully everyone is having a good morning. Hopefully you guys were not were managed risk a little bit and weren't in a long. So just to get the the what should we call it, the news out of the way, I guess. CPI came in basically around expectations, a little bit worse than expected, I guess. And the market has dropped about 3%. I know we're down about 2% here, but the market jumped up about 1% early on off of some news coming out of the UK and is now down 2%. So if we take a peek at the numbers here, which aren't really, too important, you got the initial jobless claims going down. You had that core CPI go up, which isn't great. That means basically they take out the food and shelter, or food and energy, excuse me. And for some reason that makes I mean, I don't even know why they do that, right? The food and energy are like the most important things, but so everything else besides what you need costs more now. And then we have the CPI 8.2. So it came in, elevated just a bit, but below the previous month. So we're getting this kind of big reaction. We kind of talked about this yesterday. I can't remember if we talked about this on the stream or in the trade room after the stream. But there was a lot of puts that were expiring below this 35.50 level, and below that level, and you can see the market's trading back below it now. The market makers are going to have to hedge in order to, cover those puts that they sold. So that kind of makes sense that that's what's happening here. We do see a lot of a lot of volume coming in down here, right around this 35.14. And if we look back at our daily chart here, or our monthly chart, excuse me, we can kind of remember that we talked about this level, this 35, I think it was like 35.34 here, 35.32 here, that the market was just right above, and that's the monthly 50 moving average, and it just made sense that it wanted to come down there and tag it. Well, now it has, and we're kind of seeing the aftermath effects of that. We talked about how on the daily, typically if we don't include these extended hours, this had been the low so far, and then we finally made a lower low in the non-Globex session, and we're down here 35.14. So we're going to be down here. We had talked about yesterday in the trading room how this day kind of looked like this day. Yes, so yesterday looked really similar to this day, where we traded inside the initial balance pretty much all day. If we look back at yesterday's profile, right, very narrow range. What is that? And so, basically we had, a lot of people positioning. The volume really wasn't amazing yesterday, but it was not terrible. And, today we got that little pump. So it ran the stops to the upside, and then now it, just basically dumped overnight. So we're going to be opening up on a very large gap. Gap rules are going to be in play. Key levels down. Really, I don't really have very many key levels. If we go back to the daily chart, and we actually have to zoom out a little bit farther to the weekly, we're kind of getting down. And let me turn the overnight session on so we can see where the market's at currently. We're basically trading right down to the top of this, and this was kind of like the resistance to break out, to the all-time high. You can kind of see like we're right there. So today's trading, I think, it's going to be very dangerous as far as getting attached to a position. I think the volatility is going to be extremely high. There's going to be a lot of back and forth, especially when we're opening up on a gap. We know gap rules apply. So if we have a large gap that we don't fill right away, we want to go with the gap. right? So just be careful, really, of getting any longs, right? You know, we kind of assume, oh, you know, well, uh, we've gotta go up because we're down so much. Well, you know, the market doesn't really necessarily have to do what you want it to do, or um, necessarily what it should do, right? It's just gonna do whatever it wants to do. So just be cognizant of that. You know, manage that risk today, and just be careful. If you're a newer trader, just joining into the stream, or you know, just if even if you're in the Zoom, and you're more on the newer side, today would be a day where you might just sit out, right? It might not be a day where the amount of risk that you're used to using, it just might be too much. Someone's got their mic on. Um, and you know, it might be a day where you just sit out and watch, right? You don't feel like, because there is volatility, that you're gonna miss out on opportunity. You know, because of the price, that's really getting price addicted, right? You're like, oh fuck it, you know, it went down and all this. It looks like an easy trade. It's not necessarily an easy trade, right? So you've got to definitely take that into consideration, and understand that there's going to be more days, there's going to be more opportunity, and sitting out today is not going to make you not a trader. Um, you know, so don't get uh don't get too taken back here. Let's go ahead and take a peek around the block here. We can see the dollar's just on the rise here. We saw the Australian dollar just get absolutely smacked. Shout out to Poke. He's one of the traders in our Discord, or risk managers, as I like to call them. He shorted the Australian dollar, and nailed it pretty well. The euro's getting smacked. Shout out to me, because I shorted the euro. Um, you know, pat myself on the back. We've been talking about how the UK and all of Europe is basically fucked for months now, and you know, it's just kind of expected. Bitcoin, you know, just basically failed right off of that level, and you know, just really just didn't get anything going. Traded a nice inside day yesterday and failed to get back above its close, and then got smacked. Not so great. Oil is actually going down as well, so this is you know, unpat myself on the back, because I'm still in a long British Petroleum oil, and or play, and it's not going amazing here. Gold getting smacked too, which is interesting, right? So you're seeing kind of everything go down, so it's not really like a risk off situation. This is just bad all around, is kind of what the market's kind of screaming right here. Even bonds getting smacked, and everyone thought bonds were going to go higher. Well, I don't know about everyone, but a lot of people were positioning themselves for bonds to go higher. Apple finally getting down to that 133 level. I like Apple to come down to this 121 before I become a buyer. We've been kind of talking about this. These are previous gaps, right? Apple's got some previous gaps that it has all the way back down. I don't necessarily seeing Apple getting too far below 100. If it does get to 100, you know, things are going to be really bad in the market. Market probably be close to, like, I mean, probably closer to I mean, probably under 3,000, honestly, if Apple's down to 100. So I like this 120 level on Apple. Morning, Peter. Morning, Tommy. Morning, Roach. Morning, Kate. Morning, Lecker. Yeah, it is the 50% retracement from the COVID high. So yeah, and that's why I'm kind of saying, like, today, you know, might want to be cautious, because there's probably going to be some buyers here. 50%, even though it's not 50%, is not really necessarily a Fibonacci level, but it is a 50% retracement. So people might, you know, start building a little bit of position. AMD getting absolutely smacked. Let's go. You know, hopefully we get some processors on the cheap. Amazon, you know, like we talked about, they're trying to do everything that they could before Prime Day, or this Prime Day. Um, you know, obviously is not working. Google getting a smackarooski as well. Meta doesn't look as bad as the other ones, but it's still, I mean, it's already down so much for the year that it's just terrible. Microsoft getting smacked. Netflix, you know, you could see here's the low from Netflix yesterday. Not as bad, right? Still down a pretty decent amount. Adam, good morning. Morning, Dr. VJ. Um, Nvidia also getting smacked. Chipmakers just It's not doing well. The TNX, we talked about this, right? Getting above the 40 level, so the level that we had an alert on. If TNX gets above the 40 level, that's going to be very bad for the market. Well, today's the day. Tesla also getting smacked. Classic. You guys know how I feel about Tesla and Twitter and the market and all that. So, interesting look here. The VIX, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to be talking about this, is that the VIX is not, um, the VIX is not down or up, excuse me, as much as you would expect with a 3% move, right? So the market went up 1% before that opened, and then went down, and now it's down 2%. So I would say that's a 3% move here in the single day. So definitely something interesting with the VIX not really moving. So you would think we would get a volatility spike, but people still just hanging on. Do I have any other gaps on my chart? Are you talking about the on the ES? Oh, like no data? I think just right here it is the TPO. But that could be, I mean, I don't know, just that's just from the volatility probably. Oh yeah, it's probably just because it oh yeah, there's a huge gap on my 30-minute footprint. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably just the data, like hard to keep up. Um I mean that's pretty much it. Take a look at healthcare. So healthcare getting smacked pre-market. Um, and you guys know how I've been talking about healthcare, and I think healthcare was like the only sector really that hasn't been beat down, and that's kind of where all the meat was out left on the bone. So any market pull down was gonna have to come necessarily from them, or not necessarily, but like what most likely from them. And you know, nice. Brown dog, you shorted at 36.29.75, but got stopped out at 36.35, and the market immediately went down 120 points. Fuck. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So today, if you are, I mean, I don't know your level of trading, your skill level of trading, or your trading history, but if you're used to rocking like a 5 point max stop loss, today is just not going to be the day for you to trade, right? If that's the max amount of risk that you're willing to risk, today is just the day where you just, I mean, wait until the volatility drops, or um or just don't trade, right? There's nothing wrong with not trading. Also, we have, and if you look at the title, I put CPI brings the market down, all eyes to the UK. So there was some UK news that came out this morning saying like, okay, they might make a U-turn on what they're going to do with all the pension funds over there. Still have a lot of that news going to be coming out throughout the day today, so that could cause some volatility in the market. Also, tomorrow is going to be that news really coming out, because that's going to be the day to get their affairs together, Friday. So there's still a lot of volatility expected in the market. Um, so like I said, it's just a day where patience is going to be in order, and it's going to be a tough day to manage risk, right? It's going to be a tougher day to manage risk, and if you can't manage your risk, you're just gambling, and I'm not a big fan of that. So that's why I recommend just sitting on the sidelines. A lot of people, a lot of people there'll be a lot of people today that will make and break accounts, right? A lot of people will make a big buck today and be like, I'm the greatest fucking trader in the world, right? They'll give it all back eventually, because on volatility days is typically the day that it makes and breaks traders, right? It typically makes bad traders look good, and poor, and then it typically breaks traders that don't have any discipline, that feel like they're missing out. So um All right, I'm trying to do some calculation. See what I'll at you. I'm short a bunch of healthcare stocks, guys, so I gotta see if I can get out of a couple of them here for some profit and kind of which ones I want to get out and which ones I want to stay in. Oh, 4 level got hit. Now I see we decided on, yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was no point to do the trade plan today. Yeah. It would have just been, I mean, it would have been the same exact as yesterday because the market really didn't do anything. Trade plan, don't trade. Yeah, pretty much. There's no point to force anything, Like I just not a big believer in that, and I'd much rather just, I have no issue just sitting still. I'm able to do nothing with the best of them. You know what I mean? Like I think if there was like a challenge to like go into like a solitary confinement chamber for like a month and you make $1 million or something like that, like I would definitely um sign up sign up for it and probably win. Jason, good morning. Because I could legit do nothing with the best of them. I think all that time in the army, you just spend so much time hurrying up and then waiting. That's what they call it, hurry up and wait. And I've just developed a good sense of that, and I'm not really a complainer. I'm just like, well, I guess it could be worse. I could be fucking digging for lithium in mines in Africa. So fucking headphones are all up on here. There we go. Yeah, there's a big gap down today, Jason. Yeah, and this is the thing. Like today, it's not necessarily like you don't have to trade to gain anything from it. That's a common misconception. I think is a lot of people think that they have to trade in order to learn anything, and it's really, that's really just not the case. 80% of your time, if not more, is spent just waiting. I mean, like, for those of you guys that stayed on the market all day yesterday, like, think about it yesterday. Like, fuck, you just sat there like all day, like waiting for a trade, waiting for a trade, waiting for a trade, and then a trade would come, and then it would last for 2 seconds, and then you're out, and then you're back to waiting, 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 waiting. It's like, maybe that's why I'm good at fishing, because I like to wait. Or I mean, not that I like to wait, but just that I don't, it doesn't bother me to. Wait. All right, who's ready to get the day started? I'm ready. All right. Thomas, what's up, man? My tick size, I'm on the 2 tick. Probably could switch it up, maybe go 3 ticks with the VIX being above 30, but um all in, let's go. The Nasdaq's actually going to open up below the 618 retracement here as well. We'll see if it gets any recovery. My tick size on CR chart's 2. I have a 2 tick on. Anytime the VIX is over 20, I typically switch to 2 tick. Got about 4 minutes left. Struggle with patience, but working on it every day. Yeah, I mean, just remember that it will help if you work on it not just with your trading, but in all aspects of your life. Right? So if you find yourself being impatient in other aspects of your life, um, write them down or figure out a way to remember them. What makes you impatient? Like something that makes me impatient is like dealing with stupid people, which I'm sure everyone you know has to deal with. But you can just be patient and stay calm. Right? If you've got kids, you've got to learn how to be patient. That can come back into your trading. Tobias, good morning. Well, 2 minutes left until we open here. So we can expect a very negative breath, right? We can expect basically all the internals to open. Well, this is based off of the open, so this will be our real driver today and our weighted AD as well. We can we can expect the tick to open pretty negative, and remember, like I said, like I've kind of always said, is like, um, if the tick doesn't get positive, right? Even though we're opening up on a gap, there's really no opportunity to fade. Yeah, the volatility is going to be kind of crazy, and there might be an opportunity to snag a couple points here and there, but no confirmation of a fade until we climb below this. Live within your means and invest the difference. I'm gradually built my finance and made my first 100K through investing. What I've learned over the decade is investing in crypto is the best. All right. Thank you for that, Joe. Yeah, those AMD puts will be doing well. Yeah, now I kind of wish I shorted puts, but just shorted a bunch of stocks. Yeah, I mean maybe next year. And you got to remember, Uncle Stacy, like you've been doing this for like a year basically, so and you're already profitable. That's pretty good. All right, there's our open. So real negative breath here. Market starts to bounce just a little bit. Yeah, Tommy, during COVID there was a ton. A lot of stuff selling here right off the bat. Back up to the open. Market looking to trade back below that Globex low. Volume coming in here. Excuse me. So you can see how volatile the market is here already, right? Like the market is already kind of um, bouncing around here pretty significantly. Bot should get into a put. Yeah, my algo. I turned my algo off today, actually, to be honest with you guys. I'm not gonna let it trade today. It's just too risky, I think. Let's see. Trading for less than a year and profitable is insane. That's more than just good. Your average timeline to be consistent and making money is 8 to 10 years. Trading isn't something you learn quick. If you could learn quick, everyone would do it, and poverty wouldn't be a thing. It sounds like you have a skill. Well done, partner. Well, trading comparisons. I never seen you in here before, but welcome for sure for the first time. And also, that's the great thing about this community is that we are all in a process of growing together, and everyone's at different stages of their, trading journey, but we're all here to grow together and to help each other out. And if that's something that you're interested in is learning, then definitely jump into the community and let me know. I'll post the Discord link for you. You guys could jump in. Um, and we'd love to have you guys. Just the only thing we ask you be positive and respectful, right? We've got a community on Discord that's pretty decent people, and we want to keep it that way, right? We know a lot of Discord communities can get a little bit ugly, so we don't like that kind of shit up. A little bit of short covering here. Look at the tick starting to rally here a bit. The ES broke out of that 1 minute. You could look at the ATR on the ES is 6 points, right? So that's on a 1 minute look. That's got to tell you right there, if you're if you're trading the the ES, your stop has to be minimum in a 1 minute session 6 points. So if that's not something that you're comfortable with, like I said, there's nothing wrong with just sitting out. Where's this other? Where's TJ at? Is he in here? Where's our deviations at? So we know. Where's this next deviation down? I know we've got to be close to another VWAP. Okay, 34.6. Nice, thanks. Yeah, I just want to mark it just in case we get down there. You never know. People love those deviations. Oh, you've been on the community for a year, but you've been trading just crypto mostly? Okay. Yeah, we've kind of because crypto started to get, kind of wild. Um, I mean, kind of less wild, I guess. It kind of just got less um mechanical, and I just kind of stopped trading it for the most part, and just started focusing on the futures. And it actually was, better for me. Because I, recently got a position as a prop trader, so um, I think the focus just on one asset really kind of helped me put myself in a position to be successful more consistently. The bot got filled, but only on your sons. Are the parameters different? Oh, I see. Okay. Mm. Oh, okay. You're the CNX box, right? Okay. It's so hard because like on YouTube people have different names, so it's like get into the Discord and they're like, "Oh, hey, it's me." Could be a chop fest today. I'm sure, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of indecision, right? So people are deciding, people that are put, because we know a lot of people have puts, right? A lot of people have puts. There's like $15 million in puts, and so the market maker's hedging against that, and um, if it's depending upon if people are wanting to roll their puts, if they want to ride their puts, if they want to, buy their puts back and get out. And the only thing that's not doing it for me is Lily. Costco's getting smacked. McDonald's getting smacked. Yeah, ETH is getting smacked. But I mean, ETH failed like right, just like we talked about, right? Some from yesterday. If we look at it, it failed right at that level. I was actually looking at ETH. I was really thinking about taking an ETH short yesterday after we talked about it. Yeah, fuck yeah, good shit, dude. And I was literally thinking because we talked about it, and I'm like, man, if this thing doesn't break up, it's gonna go down. And yeah, good work, Kevin. That's awesome. And it just could not get above there, and then just fucking took a bath. Or crypto. You shorted AMAT yesterday? Nice. Yeah, Jason, you've been on the Nasdaq for a while. Say, isn't it? Is it Jim or Peter who says better to trade later in the day anytime we have a 10-point plus gap? I think it's Peter, and he says a 25-point gap, 25 handle gap, or maybe it's 10. I'm not sure, but yeah, it is. It's Peter. Jim never gives advice on when or when not to trade. Pop, good morning. Yeah, Cam, that 1290 was a big level. Cam, you played any Fortnite lately? Just splooging all over everybody with those goo guns. Big gaps are 50 handles. So look at this. The tick's about to climb positive here. Very interesting look on the market today. HY block showed 60 billion long liquidations. It came out, yeah. It was higher than expected by 0.1. The core CPI was the big issue here. That it was core CPI takes out food and energy, and it was higher than expected, and so they expect food and energy to be more expensive, but with those being higher, so prices are still going up. Basically, just saying that the Fed's gonna have to keep their quantitative tightening plan. And it looks like so far, I mean, so look at the sectors here. We're seeing a lot of green here, right? And this is just from their open, right? And we're intraday traders, so yeah, the market's down a bunch, and we've got to be understanding of that, but we don't want to try to fight what the market's doing right now, right? Remember, this breadth is just based off of the yesterday's close. So with a negative breadth, that's expected on this huge gap down day. We got to be careful here. The market, keeps trying to hold this trend. We don't want to fighting it. Big level here is that 35.20 level. If the market climbs above that 35.20, we'll probably get a little bit more short covering. But not, that's where the sellers really look like they're trying to make a stand. You can see how the volume kicks on right there, right? 35.20. So let's see, first test of that trend here. It's crazy on a day like today, like your phone just fucking goes crazy all the goddamn day. Weighted AD trying to come down here. Bit of a bounce. So still holding that trend. Look at that, buyers pumped up. A lot of buying just pumped up right into there. So watch the 20 level. If we get above the 20, this thing might start running a little bit. 24-hour view ups 35.43. And that's also that it's also that, well, the 200 is sitting at, the 200 weekly sitting at 35.95. And then on the monthly, we've got 25.32. What's that 25.32 people might sell? That's that 50 on the monthly. Here's the 20 level. If they don't hold this level, we can expect a Paparuski. Watch the tick getting above 0. A little bit of selling right off the same spot again. Classic Paparuski there. Looking for that 32. See if it can hold. Gotta hold the 20. If it gets below the 20, just run away. Right to the 20, bounces. Trying to hold the 20. Sellers trying to come in. In here. Looking for the 32 still. Look how volatile this thing is, right? Just jumping up and down and up and down. It's crazy. Sellers trying to come in here at the 23. Buyers need to get above this 23 here. Some of these. What do you? You bought manually based on the model. Yeah, 32 is the ticket here. Go a little. All right, I'm out. I flattened my trade right there. 1 point away from 32 is not bad. It might keep running, but good enough. My fucking heart rate's up to 80 right there, so. Look at the breath. Breath is really cooled down here, and look at all the sectors. They're green. Tick is above 0. Fade is on. This is just the 50 SMA on the monthly chart, so I just kind of expect some resistance here. There's a 32 right there, but I mean, it was a good trade. You know, it could keep going, but like I said, I'm not today especially, but I'm not the type of person that gets greedy. I just get frustrated when you cut it early, but that's just part of this, right? I mean, if you had a dollar for every time you got frustrated for cutting a trade early, you'd probably have more than your trading earnings. But then if you had to give a dollar back every time you cut a trade late, you'd probably be back to zero. Hello? Hello? Curtis. Oh, hi, Nicole. I'm good. How are you? Okay. Okay. He just needs to do a finger poke and then cover and then put that in his pump. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you. Bye. Crypto, what's up, man? Crypto Life 101. What's up, y'all? All counts are 7 in the triple Q. Yeah, I mean, this thing just wants to go. Or at least it's trying, that's for sure. Nasdaq's ripping back up. I mean, it's still down 1.4. I think the VIX was the big snitch here, right? The VIX really didn't get elevated as much as it should have, right? With the market going down 2%. So right here to the 24-hour view up 35.44. That'll be awesome if it fills the gap. Yeah. Dollar's coming back down as well. The TNX is still above 40, but it's coming down here a little bit as well. Bitcoin just went up a full percent since it's open. Where would gap fill be at? 35.80. What was the low yesterday? 35.80, 550. 35.40 is the 200 on the weekly, I want to say. 35, I know, 35.95 is the 200 on the weekly. Yep. We just bounced right off the 24-hour view up there, 35.44. Where's the put call ratio in TOS? The put call ratio that I put out is for my uncle's algo. It's not the put call ratio on Thinkorswim. It's 11 and 15 right now. Took a long at 12.10. Oh, we got a bigger bid stepping up here at the 37.50. They need to get this market back above the 40 here. Buyers do, or else this thing's probably going to drop a little bit. So just be careful here. Bitcoin just filled the single prints and rejected off the top of them. There's the 40. Sellers just got stuck at 39.5. Sellers trying to get in this 42. There's some selling trying to come in here. For a little bit of a retrace here. Little spillers. Look at that. The trend is your friend. There it is, right on paper too. Every sector is green here. Financials really catching a boost. Almost makes you want to sell some puts in financials just because they got earnings tomorrow. A lot of banks got earnings. But below that 40, it starts to get slippery here for the buyers. Yeah, I wonder. I don't know how the banks really, depict their earnings. I guess it makes sense. Yeah, and I mean, and a lot of these banks are still in some, they're kind of underwater because not as many people are borrowing cash right now, and a lot of people borrowed cash 2020, 2021, at like, basically free, free money. They were basically passing out free money during 2020. So there it goes. Back to the 32. This is kind of where we're targeting that first move. Actually went 10 points higher, like 20 points. So second chance buyers here. If they give up this 30, 32 level, that next level down was the 20. It does look like they're trying to hold here. Pretty evenly matched. 90 handles on the MES. Nice. Look at the tick. Ticks back below the 0 level. Bit of a bounce there. So they were able to hold that 30-32. Second chance buyers got their chance. Now let's see if they're able to take the VWAP. VWAP's that 35.43. I'm a second chance buyer. Nice. Good shit, bro. We got a weak spot right above this 42. Yeah, that seller's still sitting right on that 42, it looks like. Offer's trying to move down here on this 38. I think you're in the wrong chat. They hold. Yeah, I can hear you. No worries. 42. This is that level that seller's sitting at. They're still sitting there. We want to see the ticket above 0 if we're going to break this 42. That's going to give us that confidence here. If not, not really something you want to buy into. That's something I want to buy, I should say. Looks like it wants to go here. They're struggling here. Buyers stepping up on the 40, but they're kind of lackluster here. They failed to get above that 0 right there. Do you find this easier to trade versus crypto? Yeah, I mean, it's the style of trading is for me is the same, so it's not necessarily easier. It's just really just shorter, right? Because a lot of times for crypto trades, you really got to just sit in that trade for an extended period of time because of how the fees and everything work for crypto. It becomes, kind of a pain in the ass. And I'm not really a huge fan of walking away from a trade or from the computer while I'm in a trade, and so it just makes it a little bit more difficult as far as you know as far as like being less stressed. You know what I mean? Like if I'm in a trade, I'm constantly, if I'm not at my computer, I'm constantly looking at my phone, and since crypto's 24 hours a day, it's like it's hard to sleep. Like I mean, it's just tough because you can um you can get onto crypto and all of a sudden it just drops like a stone, fucking 4% in like a couple seconds. um and for me that's just not the kind of stress I really like to put myself under. Buyers are trying this 40 here and it looks like they're kind of getting stuck, so buyers might be getting stuck up here at this 40 level, so be careful. Yeah, Cam, you should, man, you should. And we have a few traders here that are trading almost exclusively trading Globex. Like my dad is trading Globex pretty exclusively now, and Steve is trading Globex as well. Um, and we've had a lot of people, switch over to crypto in there, or switch from crypto, and they're enjoying it. So, I don't think there they go. Up. We can keep getting extension. Sorry. I was like sitting there with like staring at the 40 with my finger on the flat button. If it dropped, I was gonna close, but brutal. Yeah, it's a little bit harder to do it at work for sure. And like, cause right now for UCAM, it's like what, like midnight, even after. What time is it? My clock at. It's 1 a.m. Okay, you guys just went daylight savings, yeah. Yeah, so I mean yeah, it's tough. Yeah, UK is nice because it's like mid afternoon. If you get off work, you could probably do it. Yeah, the London Open is normally pretty good, which would be, midnight for midnight for the West Coast, and then 3 for me. I'm using Sierra charts. Like too loud. Yeah, and I think like I think trading those slower markets, especially when you're first getting into futures, is beneficial because you get a chance to kind of sit in a trade and let the trade start to work instead of just like the volatility really spooks you out of a lot of trades when well today the volatility is crazy, but like even normal volatilities a lot of times can really spook you out, whereas the volatility in the overnight session typically is not very crazy, and so it takes a lot more to to like prove your trade wrong, if you know what I mean. Like, you get in a trade, it doesn't give you reasons to get out. Like, you get your reasons to get in, and you don't really start tagging them off until then. Just tag 200. Is that on the weekly? Hold on 1 minute. It's TJ. Like, my 200 is higher. Right at the VWAP here, 45. Like a lot of profit taking up there on that move up. 1 minute. The minute man, there's like a lot of history behind that. Because there's a scholarship in the army that we would that people would apply for, called the Minuteman Scholarship. And basically, like, during the American Revolutionary War, where people are ready at a minute's notice to fight the fucking to throw some tea in the ocean. Yeah, I agree. I think having this 1 minute chart up helps a ton, especially when you're tracking liquidity. Like, I mean, I just literally like bracket the liquidity up. We got the liquidity here now. I really appreciate it, TJ. Thanks for bringing it to the chart. I mean, the only thing you have to remember is like just don't get influenced too much by it, right? We're using it to track the liquidity. That's what TJ is using it for too. So like the 1 minute chart can be very volatile and can sometimes trick people like, oh shit, we're going down. They're like, and then all of a sudden, it's just back to liquidity and then pops back. Yeah, market's just on a tear here to the upside. 20 and 4 for the put calls or call puts, excuse me. Weak spot on the profiles is 42. here. So watch a back test of this 42. This VWAP's becoming extremely important. We've just been spending a lot of time around it now. It kind of failed to hold above it, did a little bit of a pullback, and now it's popping up and trying to hold above it now. So this 42 level, if it keeps holding the 42, and it looks like some sellers just got trapped on the 45.50 there. Trying to get back down there. They need to get back down below 45.50 or else they're going to be stuck. $35.50 is a round number. So, that may be why we're seeing a little bit of selling here. You're seeing the tick really, not necessarily struggle, but struggle to stay below zero. Look at all these ticks, and this is on the 5 minutes, but ticks are holding that zero line for the most part above. Vendor bots are back. See, so here would be our next box. Buyers stepped up on the 50 now. Now let's see if they can hold it. Next level up's at 35.72 here. That's the level we have marked from yesterday. The buyer's really trying to lift the offer here at this 56.5, 55 area. You just start seeing a little bit more of them step up there, else this thing might come back down, and you'd be targeting that 42 quarter level. Big buy order 42.75, 106 lots. Two more big buy orders, 56 half, 134, 113 lots. Could be profit taken there. Looks like they're trying here. Sellers are trying to get busy here, but nothing's really screaming to get short yet, right? Got the tick pinned above, breaking out of PJ's trap box here. All the sectors are green. Even the breath, it's cooled off a ton. So see if we can just get up here and tag this 72. I'll be right back, guys. All right, back. What did I miss? Nothing really, huh? Trying to see the ticket sold down here a little bit. See if they hold it down. Remember that key level that we need to have marked here is that 42. That's where the weak spot on the profile is. If the market gets below that, we can expect some of these laggard longs that are people that are getting long a little bit late are going to be trapped, and that's probably where the liquidation is going to come from, is this 42. Starting to see some cooling off from some of the sectors as well here. Take a peek at this. You're starting to see tech start to pull back a little bit. Healthcare is kind of slowing down. Discretionary, financials, not really. Financial still looks strong. Communications kind of tailing off. Industrials tailing off. Staples about to go negative. Energy still looks good. Utilities, there goes a break right there. We're getting some cooling here in the overall market. Crypto Life, what's up, man? How you doing? Good morning. Or Crypto Mojo, good morning. I was like, didn't you already say good morning? I thought it's hard to see like on the Streamlabs thing that you tagged somebody. So they come right back down to the VWAP again and they hold it. Watch 46, it's a high. Yeah, you see the buyers trying to step up here on the 50, the 35.50. You know, I think that's just a mechanical bet. And the VWAP's right there at that A high as well. It's at 45, 44. My guess is if they don't break the 42, these sellers, if they don't break the 42, they're really not going to have a chance to get any downside. But if they are able to push below that 42, there's going to be some opportunity, probably back down to that 32, a half back. What else do we got coming around? Yeah, let's see. That's right. We have crude oil inventory reports coming out. 36 minutes. They moved it back a day because of the holiday on Monday. And that's pretty much it for the rest of the day until tonight. We get some JPY news and some New Zealand news, and then China news 9 o'clock tonight. CPI, PPI. And then tomorrow we have retail sales month over month before the market. import retail sales, export retail sales, month over month retail sales. No speakers today. I wonder if good old President Biden's gonna jump on the mic and try to save the market. Consumer staples got up to like 67, 67 half. 50 ticks, yeah. Yeah, 50. It's, yeah, it went from 67, yeah, off the open, yeah. Yeah, it's basically right at the open. Yep. Oh, he was already on, Kate? He said there was some improvement. So here's that 42. They give this thing up right here. You probably see a little bit of liquidation, I think. Tick is hitting below 1,000 here. A lot of selling coming in here, and you can see the ES coming right back to that trend that we started from this morning. They pop back up to that 42 and they sell it again. They're trying to hold it here. Nvidia and AMD are catching some offers here. Yeah, they feel they're going down. Must do more work. Yeah, the Democrats are probably um scared because of the elections that are coming up, and this is the worst inflation since like 30s. Nice, good stuff, Pump. Okay, we got C period opening up here soon. So C period opens up. Let's see what we get. Let's see if we get this continuation from C period. It's opening up right here below the 42. We're seeing a lot of volume come in here. You're getting a little bit of a bounce here. A little bit of green coming in across the board here. Big bid steps up on the 41. There it goes. Upper roost. Weak spot 44. Looking to rotate 50 to 45. And you had your first downtrend right there. Your first correction get broken there. Ticks back above the 0 here. Looking for the rollover from the 55. Staples flip back to green. A lot of stuff's flipping back to green. Looks like they're trying to break up here. I'm not really trying to fight this this move really. I'm not in a position right now. I'm flat. Like, you gotta go. All right, man. Have a good day. Buyers need to hold the 48 here. This is where they stepped up for that little impulse. They give it up. They're probably looking back 44. There's the 44. So look for them to try to back and fill that. If they don't fill this in, you're gonna get it's gonna get slippery below that 42 again, I think. I mean, you got a lot of volume below, like on that 40 to 42 level, but below that it's kind of a slippery slope. How did I call 44? That's where the weak spot was below the impulse. So like market jumped, buyer stepped in at 48, it impulsed up. 44 was the weak spot. And so you just figure if the market's going to fix its structure, it's got to go back down to that 44 to fix that structure. And that's right where it went. Lucky. I told you I'm like Domino from Deadpool 2. My superpower is I'm really, really lucky. Singles at 34. Yeah, yeah. That's a lot of excess, right? A lot of excess. Calmness, maybe. My dad actually gave me a compliment about being calm. My daughter started to have like a freak out the other day when we were taking him to the airport, or taking him to the airport, and he was saying like he's like, "Hey, you handled that really well." He's like, most parents would like blow up and start yelling at their kids. Your POC is 3850. Yeah, mine too. You got to be calm in this game. Like I think if you're getting crazy all the time, it's just gonna be bad for your heart long term. How is it weak? So it's weak because the volume, right? So like you have this volume here, you have this volume here. There's no volume here comparatively, right? I'm comparing it to here, and this is why I like to use the term half pipe, because we kind of have like that little underlying thing, and you kind of see how prices just it's like a ball. You drop a ball in this half pipe, and it just keeps kind of going back and forth, back and forth. And so what needs to happen if the price wants to continue up, or if the market wants to continue higher, the people that bought right here need to step up and buy again here, right? If we need to see fair value moving up. And so we have three TPOs into this area, but this part is still weak, right? So we need to see them buy this in, fill this in with good volume, and then we can continue up. $49 volume. Yeah, it was like 40, it was like 4,000, yeah, or barely 5,000. I wasn't even looking at the DOM. Yeah, I really only look at the DOM when I'm getting into a position. That's like where I'll really start to look at the DOM, is where when I'm about to take a position on, so I can get a better entry. So now here, key for the upside, we're seeing stuff tick back on. Staples is about to go back to red though. That's not great, but everything else looks pretty okay. Not making new highs, but looks pretty okay. But if this tick fails to hold 0 and the market fails to hold this 48, back down into back down into the half pipe we go. You see 55 as R currently. What's R? Oh, resistance. Yeah, I mean, well, we've seen it just fail. Your resistance is like here, basically, this weak spot, and then um, Yeah, basically like that 55 to 57 area looks like where all the, yeah, just from the TPO. I could trade with just the TPO. I don't, I mean, I really like to have my weighted AD, my sessions, my breath, and my tick. Um, I don't really need it. I just like it. It just helps me really. Yeah, Crypto Mojo, I definitely agree with that. And I used to be very temperamental, like fucking. I mean, I could just flip my lid like at the snap of a like. I mean, I used to get in a lot of fights. Like people would just look at me wrong, and I'm like, all right, bitch, like you know. And I wasn't. My dad always taught me if you're gonna get in a fight, you might as well throw the first punch. And so I wouldn't even say anything. People just give me that look, and I'm just like, whap. But getting in the military, obviously, you can't do that, and you really got to stay calm under stressful situations. Um, and so it definitely did help, you know. And when I was in basic training, that's the first time I read the Bible. Right, we had a lot of time on our hands and not a lot of you know things to do. Until we went to like the range or went and worked out and stuff like that. So I started reading the Bible, and I think just understanding some of the messages from the Bible really helped me understand uh, myself a little bit better, and then work on my patience and understand like that the lesson the lesson is not like um pray for patience and God gives you patience, is pray for patience and God gives you the opportunity to be patient. You know what I mean? And whether you believe in believe in God or not, right? That's in every situation, right? If you're not a patient person, well, you're going to get plenty of opportunity to try to be patient, right? And it's up to you to decide if you're gonna or if you're not gonna. I don't understand what you see because 44 is the middle of the range. I saw weak volume. That's what I saw. Weak volume. On the DOM at 44? On the DOM at 44, on my DOM at 44, I see nothing. 616 and 746 since the last time I reset it. Yeah, it's the volume. Yeah, so we're seeing this weak volume here, right? And so, the market popped up, tried to get above here, wasn't able to. We had a seller step in around like that 56, 55 area, 56, this area that we were talked about, right? 55 half to 57. So we come back down to where all these buyers and sellers are kind of agreeing on price, right? VPOX here says the fairest price of the day. So you've got, people selling TVs for 50, buying TVs for 50, and they're agreeing on it. Up here, 58, people are like, I'm not willing to buy that 58 yet. But we did get a volume nodule up there, right? Sectors are still green. Breath is still improving. You know, there's nothing really telling us that it wants to go down. Especially because you have kind of this cliff here and no volume below this, or for the most part one time framing up. I mean, C period still inside B periods. We don't have any confirmation yet, but um, the look down here into this weak volume, and we got a little bit of volume pop up. So somebody from here came up, bought this, market jumped up, nobody started selling from the 50, so then market moved up to the 56, people started selling, it came back down, people are still buying the 50, and prices kind of jumping up. And if we look here, right, you can see like this is 56 here, and this low is just right under the 50, and so this is kind of fair value here with the price. So people are looking at this area right here, and the key here is like, see this volume filling in. Where is price going after this volume starts to fill in? Well, it's going down. So now we're seeing this seller from here kind of move down and start to sell this 50, 55. So as it comes back down, these buyers that were here before on the 50, are they still going to be there? Right? Are they still like, no, I like TVs here. I'm going to buy another TV. Or are they like, you know what? I sold my TV at 58. I'll look to buy somewhere cheaper, right? And build some more value. It's really just a distribution curve, right? And so that's how we kind of look at it, right? And so if volume keeps filling in here, we keep getting this volume filling in, this is going to give us this look here that buyers are stepping up, right? And we'll get confirmation by a breakout. And you can see, I mean, how balanced it is right here this past 5 minutes. Seller steps in right there on the 57. Back down to 55. So buyers, it's getting tighter and tighter here. Should be a decent amount of stops above 61. If this thing gets above 61, there should be some stops there to take us up to 72. Sellers trying to give it the old college try here at the 57, but they're kind of ruining our fun is what they're fucking doing. The market's having a tough time here. There we go. I was gonna say finding the buyers, but they would just take their stops. Right. So there's the stops above 61. Let's see if we can go straight to 72. Continuation of the one time framing. Seller pops in at the 63. Backfilling here. Market likes to hold the 60 here, 59. Don't want to see it get below 57. Initial balance high broken. Yep. Took the stops. We don't, this is not a great look after that break here. We don't want to see it get much below this 57. Like to see buyers hold this. This is where that impulse came from, right from this 57. Count it. Count. James 1:24 says, "Count it all joy when you fall in diverse trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. Let patience have its perfect work, so you may have perfect and complete." You may be perfect and complete. A good one. I like it. Dollar's getting smacked here. Let's just switch gears real quick. Take a peek at the dollar. Dollar's getting smacked. Oil bounced back today too. VIX is 32.82. 57 levels could be becoming a key level here. 57 to 55. There's a little bit of liquidation there. So just shook out some shorts. It just shook out some weak longs right there at that 57. Is what it looked like. Ever 100-point day, 3 trades only on the MES. Let's go. Good shit, man. Amazing. Good stuff, man. That is awesome to hear. Short 60, 6.5 points first trade. Good stuff, TJ. Nice. I like it. I like it. So we're back below that 57 here. I mean, a lot of volume coming in at this area though. And back right above it. So back and forth here. Wanted to get on that look below and fail of the overnight low, but when it happened so close, hesitant to take them. Yeah, I mean, I'm hesitant to take any shorts right now, to be honest with you. So let's see if we're gonna keep getting this move up here. Just struggling like to find these new buyers up at the top is what it looks like. You know what I mean? Like, but it does look like everything's kind of cooling out. Um, it looks like. Oh, good. Hmm. Oh yeah. I waited a little bit. I waited a little bit to get long till I got convinced down here. But then once it really started to go above the open, I was just like, we're almost up to that 72, and that's kind of that target on this upside here. Back inside of initial balance. So we got some decent excess up on the high now. If we do some filling in, this 64 half is a weak spot. So the market needs to get above this 64 half. I think we got some trapped longs trying to take the breakout from the 67. A lot of offers got lifted up there. 66 half, 67, and market kind of retracing here now. So buyers trying to step up here on the 60. Bitcoin dropped 30 points or 1,000 points in 30 minutes last night. Jesus. So this is a trend that the market's been holding basically since the open. I mean, you've got a couple little breaks of it, but a break of this could probably bring us back down to that 54 level. Yeah, CL news is in 1 minute. We're gonna get D period in 1 minute as well. So we're seeing value move higher so far, right? We've got 3 TPOs here, and now we've got 3 TPOs here. So we're seeing value move higher. Volume looks to be moving up. Right, we're seeing a little bit of slippage here in our staples and utilities, weighted AD is not necessarily making a new high here. Tick is kind of, I mean, tick still looks pretty strong here. Be careful for a rinse and repeat, right? So like a flush out of weak hands is what I'm saying is like this is kind of the setup I think like and they might just keep might just keep getting bought up, but kind of thinking that they give us a little pop drop and or a drop lock and pop, a little flush out, get the week long scared, so bigger money has a chance to buy it lower, right? So you figure if big money is here and they're doing some distribution here, well, they want to do this play again, um, right? And this is where I'm the reason I'm figuring that big money is here is because of the excess on C period, right? So we figure big money is sitting here. If they drop the bid down, they get an opportunity to kind of fill this in and they can buy this back up and then take price, back up higher. You're going to get momentum shorts piling in here, plus weak-handed longs selling out of their positions here. So the liquidity will be there for them to fill this position a little bit and then try to take price back up. It's not a forecast or a prediction. It's just kind of a guess. Oh, I'll fill the gap. Here we go, TJ. Let me just find my fucking Dom. I'll start smacking the buy. Yeah, I mean, let me call. Be like, listen, I'm gonna need some higher margin because I'm about to fucking fill a gap. uh, yeah, let me pull it up. Yeah, you do the measure. Yeah, it's almost 6% from peak to trough right there. So that and it was interesting. You got this the news coming out of the UK popped the market up, and then CPI came out and really just made the market take a bath there. So yeah, really interesting trade there. I'm sure that there's other we scroll back like to on the 1 minute cover 20,000. The fuck is this? Fuck you, Trading View. Trading View is like a fucking. I swear to God, they're always trying to charge you for some shit, bro. I swear. Yeah, I mean here you have back here. This is back in this is September. These are probably some pretty extravagant bars, but if you looked back like all the way back up to here, you'd probably see some craziness. I'm sure. Jesus Christ, I don't know what just happened. The buyer's trying to step up here again. This is that same spot that they stepped up, try to step up before the 61. Here at this B high. Utilities went back to green. Everything's looking pretty green here. If we pull this over, I mean, you can see tech's still looking good. Healthcare's looking good. Trying to break out now. Discretionary, financials, communications struggling a little bit. Industrials looks good. Staples looks the weakest. Energy's really strong. Energy's filled the gap already. Utilities still looking kind of weak. Materials looking weak, and then healthcare looking weak. There you go. There's a break there. One trade on the top. One lot traded on that high tick. That's not great. 69 looks like some buyers tried to step up there and got kind of stuck on the 69. We just have the 72 already. We want it. Just give it to us. There we go. Almost to the gap fill here. Gap fill 85.50. Buyer step up on the 77.5 right there. Just that T2 low, mechanical selling off a T2 low, 79. What a day. This reminds me of this day here. March. You guys remember back in March, it was this day. Or maybe it was February. We had this thing gap down. You can see like where the market closed the previous day, it gapped down and then just went all the way back up to the high. Thanks. So maybe some profit taking here. I closed at 72, so I don't have anything on anymore. Yeah. I mean, yeah, let's see if it gets weak. I mean, we don't want to short a market that's one time framing up. And the market's not just one time framing up, it's one time framing up without single prints. We'll probably get some single prints here. I mean, we do have 20 minutes. But
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
off Siri. Um, we'll probably get some single prints here, but yeah, I mean, there's just no real reason to fight the trend. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make any sense really to fight the trend. You'd be better off just waiting for the market to come back down to a level that you like and then get in there. So there's the gap fill there. Oh, I didn't even update the fucking chart at all. Let me see. I didn't see settlements. Settle was 88, 36, 35, 88, 50. There's the settle. The last was 80, 93 quarter. And half back of yesterday's session was right at the, that was a big gap. Yeah, I mean you're looking, I mean 80 points, 85 points from low to high. That's a pretty big gap. Hmm. Yes.
Yeah,
Crap.
somebody's in an office right now going, "You did what?"
Now we're gonna have to come out with an article that some news got leaked or make up some story.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see if Twitter's got anything.
I was watching this show about the biggest mistakes ever made. They were talking about how some junior trader at a Japanese firm was supposed to trade one share at 610,000, ended up trading 610,000 shares at $1. The company lost like 20 billion.
Oh my god. Sheesh. Yeah, talk about typing it into the wrong box.
Well, they actually ended up suing the I don't know, whoever exchange allowed it, saying that they should have seen that obvious mistake, and they ended up getting like 2 billion back or something. But still,
Yeah. Yeah, if something's trading that high and someone puts in a bid at $1, yeah. Of course, normally if you like even if you try to do an order below the price, normally it fills you at the current price anyway. So unless it's a limit order, but it just wouldn't have gotten filled if it was a limit
yeah, you
order.
think it'd be like a "Are you sure?" button? Yeah.
It'd be fun to just put in like really crazy orders just to see if they accidentally get filled because somebody puts in some crazy cells on their side.
Yeah, people used to do it on
The
Bitcoin all the
randomness.
time back in the day.
Just to see
Try
if
to get
people would put in
huge
stupid.
dumps. Yeah. Like big wicks down that were like a few $1,000s, you know. So, especially on coins that are like light volume, like a lot of the altcoins, you know, someone just like decides to get out and they're just dumping bags and the price wicks down crazy far. Well, I already wasn't looking forward to trading after the huge move down. And now we got this ginormous move up. It's like, it's going to be a while for this to settle for me to do anything.
Yeah, I think I'm done. I didn't take a lot today, but I was just.
Yeah, I only have one trade. I only got one trade.
I have 3, but one was break even, one was for 0.15. I was like, I'm just protecting myself, and then I got 6 points later on. But like the break even one was when we were sitting there and we had that one contract at the top. I'm like, I'm out of this damn thing. I'm not getting killed.
Yeah,
and then it
I'm not going to
exploded.
be the one guy at the top.
Yeah. I was like, oh, one contract at the top, I'm out. And then of course it rips, you know.
Yeah, I was really wanting to get long when we opened up, and because I remember a day where we had a scenario like this, but that happened like last week where it was something similar. I don't think it was as big of a news event as today, but like we were on a huge gap down, and I was like, oh, last time it traded up, you know, everybody was covering, so I, you know, tried to get long at the bottom and then just got wrecked. So this time I was like kind of hesitant because I'm like replaying that scenario.
I was looking at 35.20 and I just didn't. I was like, this thing is too volatile for me to pop in there.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's like, you know, it's like it looks good, but is it worth the loss if I'm wrong? You know, like, is it a high probability trade? You know, like could really go either way.
I know, and I'm still trying to build up consistency. So it's like sometimes it's just like forget the big win, just be consistent, you know?
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm trying not to take the gamble trades and just, you know, trying to stick to ones that I think are good probability go in my favor.
Yeah, and I've been trying to add a little bit more lots, so my wins are bigger, but today it was like one only.
Yeah, I only traded one lot on my trade too.
Yeah, I've been trading 2 the last week. Trying to pass that eval account.
Yeah.
How's that
Yeah,
going on that
I-
account?
What'd you say?
I'm up. I'm a little up on it, like $300 up on it right now. So.
How many days you got left?
Oh, I'm on my second month with it. I was a little low, and I was at like 400 low, and at the end of the month, I threw a bunch of contracts on and got back up, and so, you know, I just need to hit the 3,000. So, but I'm just trying to be slow with it. Just I'm more trying to learn how to be consistent, because it's like I don't really care about passing it and then blowing it.
Right,
know?
right. Yeah, same for me.
I'm
Like I
kinda
feel like my strategy of slow and steady, like it'll be great once I pass. It's just it takes forever to freaking pass, you know.
Yeah,
But like
you know, I'm
playing
just,
small and having multiple accounts, you know, like those small trades times 3 is plenty enough when it's all going to the same bank account. But like when it's small trades in 3 different accounts and all 3 have to pass, you know, it just means it's going to might take you a while to pass. But once you pass, I mean, it seems like it'll be good.
yeah, you know, we've been so busy work-wise, and I keep on just trying to say, like, I just want to be able to do this before the work, you know, until the economy crashes and our companies like swim, you know, just struggling, you know,
Yeah.
because I've been there before, and that's not fun. But that's why it's kind of like this recession's weird, because it's like we have people hitting us up for business and we're having to tell them no because we just don't have enough time. And it's like, and I keep seeing hiring up, and it's like, are we really going to hit a recession if everybody's got to go to work? You know, you know. My wife keeps going. She's like, yeah, how many people retired and how many people died in the last 2 years? Somebody's got to take the jobs.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, it's weird. Like I keep seeing stuff where it's like all the young people like just don't want to work or something. Like, you know, like all this stimulus and all this free money hadn't helped, you know. They're just, you know, want to get used to sitting at home getting all this money for free.
Yeah, but
The
they haven't
McDonald's
gotten
on the street
money
had
for
a sign
free in
for
a while. You know,
Yeah,
like,
it's
I
been a
mean,
while. It's been a while.
I think there's a lot more people that are just, you know, working on their own and doing their own thing too, like, and just saying F this stuff, you know?
Yeah, I seen the
Well, like
McDonald's on
with
the
all the
street had a
COVID
sign for
rules too, you could just like, you know, you could keep getting unemployment and like keep doing all these things, you know, to just like get all this. Yeah, I don't know. There's definitely a lot of people playing the system,
But I think all that stuff's done now. You know?
yeah, it could definitely be.
You know, like I surely know in Florida it is. You know, I mean, we're out of the country, but our tax base is Florida, so.
crazy to me is the McDonald's on the streets had a sign for $20 an hour for over a year, and they haven't filled it yet. $20 an hour to McDonald's.
Yeah, I've
Yeah, but
seen places like Domino's, like it was like $1,000 hiring bonus. I'm like, you know, you're struggling if you're about to give somebody $1,000. Makes
So they could buy a car.
yeah, but if they're, I mean, like, I don't know, it's like if they can't hire, and I mean, these people are getting money somehow. They're not, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that $600 stimulus didn't go very far.
Well, and that thing's been done for over a year now, you know? So, you know, I think a lot of people just, you know, there's money just from different ways now, influencers and all this stuff. You know? It's like,
Yeah,
what the-
yeah, people would rather do that.
Hell yeah. You want to go, you know, put on a suit and a tie every day? You want to sit and, you know,
Yeah,
figure
for sure.
something else out. Like I knew a lot of people that used to work in restaurants that got out and learned something else during all this, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's really the big change because people had the time from everything being closed and they had money at the same time from the stimulus. So it gave them that little bit of leadway to try maybe things that they really wanted to do all along but didn't have the time.
Yeah, me was this,
Yeah.
you know? This thing's insane.
All right,
We're
guys,
really gonna
sorry
stay
about that.
above the high?
Told you I was gonna get my fucking get on that phone call so I can get that margin.
I thought you just went long and ran away, so you didn't close it.
I was just trying to close the gap. That was it. That's all we talked about. The rest
Yeah,
the rest was
Brad
just
was like,
follow on.
crap. I didn't know they were gonna give me that much margin. We went way past the gap. That thing shot up really far though. Honestly, I was hoping nobody was short right there, and like was like instantly 100 points down if they had more than one lot on.
Well, it was the England or the European close too was right there at the end of D period when that thing just started racing to the upside as well. So all those shorts that were short from overnight and from today's session, they had to close here. So it makes
Well,
sense.
that's a hell of a jump. I mean, what are the singles? 35.70 to 36.20 almost.
Yeah.
50 points of singles almost.
Yeah, most of it is like if you look at the 1 minute chart, it's like you had a huge chunk in 1 minute at the 11:17, and then the 11:20, 3 minutes later, was another chunk. $30 points in one candle.
I mean, the
34
single prints are
points in
basically like engulfing yesterday's profile.
yeah, that's what we were
We
saying.
were talking
It's
about that
crazy.
while you were gone. We're like
Yeah.
the whole day to do nothing, and then in a minute, yesterday was eclipsed.
What's crazy is like the market was up 1%, then it was down 2%. Now it's back up to 1%.
That's a lot of volatility.
Just crazy movements, yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine the amount of people that probably just got caught off sides.
Oh,
You know, looking for a normal play like we were talking about, maybe getting a short from up here, and then all of a sudden we're 60 points higher in a couple minutes.
yeah, that's why I said I had a hard time getting short on a day like today until it really starts to show you some downside, but it's tough.
I mean, that was like the freaking move this morning, you know, off the CPI or whatever. It was just like instant rip. Those never accidentally work out in your favor. You know, it's like, oh, I'm gonna try a little 1-2 point scalp right here, and then boom, 6 points.
Yeah, it only works out in the opposite direction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
opposite only.
You are having some selling here on this 39.5, but they just, yeah, it looks like they just got stuck there.
43.5 is the second deviation. No. Almost don't even want to trade now until I figure, you know, price settles and figure out where everybody's at now. Which skews everything.
Yeah, it might be lunchtime.
We're 140 points off the low.
Yeah, you got to think about how much more is it going to go. We're going to see 3,700 today. I mean, Jesus.
I know, like we're about to take like the balance zone of the past couple of days here. The high.
Yeah, we're
We're
gonna
about to
start
break
seeing
into
some
this
margin calls.
36.60 again.
Yeah, we've got these singles here from the 6th, it looks like. Fucking overnight from the 7th, and then DJ supply box up here.
I never did come back to that daggum box.
Maybe that's where the shorts are at, 3,700. And then you still have that gap above as well. Well, gap above and below, because the gap is actually like from here to here.
There went the stops over the T2 high.
Yeah. It looks like we're gonna take those singles out.
Here comes the stops on the day before that. God.
Holy shit, I had an alert on Apple at 142. Or 141.90. We just got it. So Apple is what, up 10 points? $10? 34 to 42, $8.
Yeah, it's up 2.5% here. There's those singles. This just happened like fucking in a millisecond. This is might be just heading up here.
Bitcoin's almost over 19,000, about to get closing. Well, it did hit 19,000, then faded.
Yeah, pop the high of the 11th and then instantly pops the 10th and then boom, stopped right at the singles.
So the key here now that we're getting into this will be to watch to see if we're going to get a re-entrance into this T2 level. And that's kind of like, you know, kind of our balance zone here, like TG was talking about. We had that liquidation day here where just kind of traded lower, found some buyers, and now we're seeing if they're going to keep buying this above the T2 high. That's basically all of these people that are short in this lower range are going to try to close here, like as close as they can to this level. So we see short covering, short covering, short covering. If they break it down below, we could see some liquidation from longs, but you know, nothing is really screaming to us to get short.
The price action's so violent, you know, it's hesitant because you don't want it to rip against you, you know.
No, I don't know how you get in on this.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have slippage for sure if you try anything here.
Are we gonna hit that POC? Oh, yeah, we sure as fuck are.
Yeah, I mean, we'll
Yeah,
probably...
the curvature on the 1 minute
No.
candles was about your best opportunity to get long.
I think I'm sitting this out. I'm just watching now. I'm putting myself on simulation mode just so I don't even try.
And this is the daybreaker
Very
day.
wise.
And this is that reason.
Well, your analysis of hitting the 200, or was it the 20 SMA on the monthly was pretty good, hitting there and bounce.
The 50, yeah. It went a little bit,
50.
yeah, it went a little bit lower, but I mean, when you look back on the chart, like it you know, it's been kind of bouncing off that 50 SMA and then just going up. I mean, I didn't know it was going to go up this much, but wish I would have held the initial long I got in and just closed my eyes.
Yeah. I closed my only decent trade today at the T1 low.
You
It's
would have
like,
only
damn.
needed to close your eyes for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, anyone averaging in on a short today got wrecked.
Yeah. And there was nothing screaming short, right? I mean, there was a little bit of short maybe early on in the session during A period, but really not very long. And then the market pretty much, you know, turned around. And once it got back inside the overnight session, it really didn't look back. And everything was telling us that the market wanted to go up, right? This was green the whole day. This was pretty much green the whole day. Our tick, right, was pinned up at the upside. Every chance that these sellers got, even right here, this would have been the perfect time to go long, right before that 10:30 when they tried to sell it down and just got trapped. Even, I mean, look at the breadth. Breadth was -15. Now we're positive here. It was just one of those days where, you know, you don't want to fight the trend. Trend is your friend. And I mean, for the most part, even if we expand this up, you know, this trend here is from the open for the
Right.
most part, you know. I mean,
Yeah, I have that same one.
it hasn't it hasn't given you a reason. There's opportunities, I guess, but those are high risk opportunities.
Yeah, looking back, I was like asking myself why I didn't get in around 11 o'clock because the curvature is like so clean on the 1 minute candles.
Oh, right here. Oops. Right here.
Yeah, how it makes that U right against the line. So you're like the 200 is right there too, like a straight line that it is building off of. So you got the 200, it's over the VWAP, it just came over the 50. We have a box there, so like it's stopping right there because there's shorts trapped under it that are buying back, propping the price up right there, and then it just curves up, takes the high, and keeps going.
And look at this tick hit below 1,000 at 10:25, and if we go to the 10:25 candle, look what number we're on. 35.40, 35.42. Everyone should have that number written down because that's the number we were watching earlier. And the market could not hold below it. What's going on here? Best day in a long time. Good shit, Kevin. Good shit. We're coming back to a weak spot initially. It's crazy. We were watching 35.42 and we're at 36.42 now. Jesus. But there was a weak spot on the profile here. It just kind of jumped over it. It was right at that 49.5. You can just profit taking here. Watch for the trend to hold here. That'll kind of be the key. Watch this 49.5 here. 49.5 was that weak spot on the profile. It just jumped down below it here, but see if they get back above it or if they try to hold it.
They were 30 points off the high already.
Yeah, when yesterday's range was like 30 points.
Yeah.
20 to 86, yeah.
Yeah, that thin spot's from them sweeping the stops in D. So
Right.
it should have some buying, if trapped shorts are still there, the buy pressure, keep it up right there. Short term, at least, unless they see a bunch of supply.
Yeah, and this is somewhere where we'd like to see buyers, initiative buyers, jump in and start to buy this thing to keep the market moving higher because we're right below that T2 high as well. So as we get back below this T2 high, right, a little bit of longs start to get scared because because we're below that liquidation point, that margin call point, so they're back to being okay because these guys are able to hold these shorts as long as they're not going to get that margin call above that T2 level. Like buyers stepped up on the 42 there and they're really trying to fight this for 49.5 level, 50. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna end it here. Hopefully you guys did some managing risk. It does sound like everyone was, on the right track today, played it smart, and managed that risk. So good stuff. Guarantee you're in small company. A lot of people are probably broke today. A lot of people probably risked it for the biscuit and probably didn't manage risk very poorly, and they're either going to get a big head and say that they're a genius, or they're broke completely. You know, so well done, everybody. But other than that, I'll jump into
Yep.
the TPO chat. I don't really have anything going on. I was gonna dig a trench today, but it's raining, and so I don't know if I feel like it. But yeah, other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure that you're managing risk and sticking to your trade plan, and I will catch you all later.